Hello, welcome back to the world of digital electronics. In the last session, we have discussed about different types of digital electronic circuits like combinational logic circuits and sequential logic circuits. The main difference between these two is the presence of flip-flop. What is a flip-flop? We have defined flip-flop as a kind of bistable multi-vibrator. A flip-flop is a bistable multi-vibrator. That is how we describe it electronically. Now, it has the special capability of storing a bit of memory, or it is capable of serving as a memory element. It has the capability of storing one bit, one binary digit of memory. So, it is capable of storing either 1 or 0. We can also say that they are the memory elements of a sequential logic circuit. They are the memory elements of a sequential logic circuit, without which the sequential logic circuit will not work, or it becomes a combinational logic circuit. A flip-flop is the common name given to two-state devices which offer basic memory for sequential logic operations. To sum up all these things, flip-flops are heavily used for digital data storage and data transfer. So, they are heavily used for digital data storage as well as digital data transfer. For two purposes, data storage and data transfer. But for this purpose, they are commonly used in banks, in groups. They are used, the technical term is they are grouped in banks. A group of flip-flops clustered together, and these banks are called registers. These banks are called registers for the storage of binary numerical data. Now, we have different types of flip-flops. What are the types? We need to study about all these types of flip-flops to understand the sequential logic better. The types of flip-flops are: 1. SR flip-flop, or the set reset flip-flop. The set reset flip-flop. Hereafter, we will call it SR flip-flop or SR latch. The second type of flip-flops are D flip-flop. D flip-flop. Then comes the third type of flip-flop, the JK flip-flop. There are another kind of flip-flop which is a modification of this JK flip-flop. It is called MSJK flip-flop. We can modify the JK flip-flop in another way and get another type of flip-flop called a T flip-flop. So, these are the different types of flip-flop which we need to study. What are the applications of flip-flops? As we know, for the working of a sequential logic, we need flip flops, and sequential logic is needed at many places, and at all these places we need flip flops. And the applications of these flip flops are, they are used in counters, they are used in logic controllers, used in registers, used as memory or used to store digital memory. Then they are used as frequency dividers, which are very much important in the case of clocks to make and measure time. Okay, let us start with the elementary type of flip flop, the SR flip flop. We will start with the first type of flip flop, the SR flip flop or the set reset flip flop. This is the simplest binary storage device. The SR flip flop have two inputs. The inputs are called set and reset, and they will have two outputs. The outputs are denoted by Q and Q prime or Q complement. So, you have two inputs S and R, these are the inputs, and we will have two outputs. The outputs are Q and Q prime or Q complement. These are the inputs and these are the outputs. The speciality is that Q and Q complement are complements of each other, which means if you have an output of 1 at Q, Q prime will be 0. Or the other way, if the output of Q is 0, then Q prime or Q complement will be automatically 1. As the name indicates, it is a complement of Q. The SR flip flop is sometimes referred to as SR latch. The term latch refers to its use as a temporary memory storage device. This is used as a temporary memory storage device. So, this is also known as a latch, an SR latch. Now, what you are seeing is actually the circuit symbol of SR flip flop. You can put 0 here, which denotes that this is the complement, this Q prime is a complement. Now, how do we satisfy this, or how do we make the SR flip flop from the basic gates? Of course, the basic gates are, or the gates AND, OR, NOT, NOR, XOR, and these gates are used to make flip flops. How do we make an SR flip flop from these gates? The circuit goes like this. You have two NOR gates. You will have two NOR gates with two inputs. The one input is given the name set, this is a reset actually, and the other is set. Now, the outputs are Q and Q complement. The outputs are fed back to the input. There is no connection between these two lines. if there is a connection between the lines, I will put a dot there. This is the circuit, this is the method by which you create an SR flip flop from NOR gates. Similarly, you can construct an SR flip flop from NAND gates. Then the circuit will be a bit different. You will have two NAND gates. These are the two NAND gates with two inputs, and one of the input is the set input and the other is reset. Again you have the outputs. The outputs are Q and Q complement or Q and Q prime. Once again you are taking the feedback from the output and giving it to the input. This is the method by which we create an SR flip flop from NAND gate, and this gate is called active low. This flip flop is called active low. We call it active low SR flip flop or active low SR latch. In the previous case, when we have constructed SR flip flop from NOR gates, we call it active high SR flip flop. So, you have two kinds of flip flops, one being made from NOR gates and the other type is from NAND gate. If you make it from NOR gate, we call it active high, and from NAND gate we call it active low. The reason will be specified later. Now, the circuit symbol for this active low SR flip flop, which is made from NAND gates, will be a bit different, but I will put two circles here, small circles, denoting this is made from NAND gate and is active low. So, you have constructed the SR flip flop from by two methods, one is from NOR gate and other is from NAND gates. Now, as I said earlier, every digital logic circuit should have and will have a truth table. The truth table is a representation of the logic behind that particular circuit, and we should write, we should know the truth tables of these flip flops. We will start with the active high flip flop, which are made from NOR gates. You can see the truth tables in the figure. The truth table shows 4 columns. The first column is S, the second one is R, the third column is Q and fourth column is Q complement, and comments are written on the fifth column. Now, let us give inputs to this SR flip flop. At first, we are giving 2 low inputs to both the terminals. So, we are giving a 0 to S and a 0 to R. Watch the value of Q. Q is NC and Q complement is NC. This NC represents no change, which means the latch is remaining in its present state, which means suppose before applying these inputs, before applying 0 and 0, Q was 1 and Q complement was 0. Even after applying S and R as 0 and 0 respectively, the output will remain 1 and 0. If the outputs in the previous case were 0 and 1 for Q and Q complement, the outputs will remain 0 and 1 even if you apply two low inputs 0 and 0 at the S and R inputs respectively. That is why we call it no change. The output remains intact, the output will not change. Now, let us apply something different to the inputs. At first, we apply a high input to the S latch, S terminal, and a low input to the R terminal. We call it 1 0 condition. In the 1 0 condition, you can see that Q becomes 1 and Q complement automatically becomes 0, which means when the set terminal is high, Q becomes high. Set terminal becomes high, Q becomes high, and we say that the latch is set. On the other hand, if the set terminal is made 0 and the reset terminal becomes 1, as you can see in the next case, the Q output becomes 0 and Q complement becomes 1, which means the output Q becomes a lower value and Q complement becomes 1 value. This condition is called the reset condition of the latch. Now, what happens when both the input terminals S and R are given higher inputs? This is a weird condition because the SR flip flop cannot understand what is happening inside it. So, you cannot have a stable state at the output. So, this condition is called an invalid condition and we avoid such a condition. We are not supposed to give both the inputs high. If such an input is given, the output cannot be predicted, and this is a drawback of the SR flip flop. Now, one more thing, why this flip flop which is made from NOR gates are called active high? It is evident from the truth table. You can see that when the set terminal is made high, the output Q becomes high, and there is a 1-to-1 correspondence. S becomes high, Q becomes high. This is called the active high condition. Now, coming back to the second type of SR flip flop which are made from the NAND gates, you can watch the truth table. At first, we are giving both the inputs high value 1 and 1. When you give 1 and 1 to the input, a no change condition is happening. You should compare it with the no change condition of the active high flip flop. We see that for the active high flip flop, the no change condition is 0 0 inputs, that is set and reset were 0. But in the case of active low, 1 and 1 ensures the no change condition. This is the first difference. Now, coming back to the other types of inputs, suppose the two inputs are given 0 and 1 respectively, that is S is made 0 and R is made 1, you get the Q output as 1 and Q complement as 0. At this condition, we say that the latch is set, the SR flip flop is set. We say that a flip flop is set when the output Q goes 1, and in this state the output Q goes 1 when the set latch is low. That is the reason why this latch is called active low latch. Now, give the other condition, set is made high and reset is made low. We see that the output Q becomes low and Q complement becomes high. We say this is the reset condition, or the latch is said to be reset. Now, we have one more option for the input, the 0 and 0 input. Both the inputs are made 0, and this is an invalid condition in the case of active low flip flops. As in the case of SR flip flop, the 1 condition was invalid. In the case of an active low SR flip flop, the 0 condition is invalid and that should be avoided, and this is a drawback. In both types of SR flip flops, we have invalid conditions. Now, watch the diagram. These are the timing diagrams of an active high SR flip flop for the input. You can see the S pulses, S input and the R input. Can you figure out what would be the outputs Q and Q complement? Draw it yourself, and this is the answer. You see that at first when set is high and reset is low, you are getting the Q value high and Q complement low. Now, when the reset goes high, Q comes low and remains in that state. Automatically, when Q comes down, Q complement goes high, and there are changes in the reset button. At some time it goes high and comes down, goes low, which will not affect the status of Q and Q complement. Q will go high only when S again goes high and remain in that state. Now, I have given you 2 exercises. You can draw the outputs for these 2 inputs. So, we have seen that the SR flip flops has an inherent disadvantage. They have a invalid condition. So, in order to solve this problem, people thought of many strategies, and one of the strategy which came out was to provide a third input to the flip flop, so that the output depends not only on the set and reset inputs, but also on the third input. The third input is called the clock. Now, we are extending our discussion to a modified SR flip flop, which is called a clock SR flip flop. The output changes state at a specified point on a triggering input. This triggering input is called clock. Clock is serving as a triggering input. Let this be the clock, which is given as the third input. At the clock, you can see 2 edges where the signal rises, and at another point the signal drops, and this is called the rising edge of the clock, and this is called the falling edge of the clock, or the negative edge. This is a positive edge and this is a negative edge. Now, if this third input is given to the SR flip flop, the output will depend on the clock rising position also. We can make SR flip flops in 2 ways, clocked SR flip flops in 2 ways. Either it can work in the positive edge or the rising edge, or it may work in the negative edge. There is slight change in the circuitry. A clocked SR flip-flop is like an SR flip-flop, but with an extra input of a standard clock pulse. The output of Q and Q complement will not change in a clocked SR flip-flop until receiving a signal from the clock. This is the circuit symbol and the circuit realization of a clocked SR flip-flop. You can see that the flip-flop is made from 2 NAND gates and 2 NOR gates. In the symbol, you can see the additional terminal C, which represents the clock terminal. The clock terminal is given at the input by shorting 2 inputs terminals of the 2 input NAND gates. We will think about the other types of flip-flops and the truth table of this clocked SR flip-flop in a later session. Thank you.